All right, I got another one for you guys. This is going to be talking about Helldivers 2. Going to talk about the reviews and some of the player stats. Seeing as we've been in this game for about a month now, just shy of a month since its release date, I figured we would get into some of the details and go over some of that and see how this game is faring. Spoiler alert, it's faring pretty well. If you haven't noticed, this is a lot of people's game of the year without question. It has been dramatically popular in at least the circles that I'm in. People are loving this game and playing the crap out of it. So let's just dive into it and see what we got here. So let's just go to the reviews first. Reviews are fairly good. Not as good as some other games that have been out recently. But you can't argue with 90% of the 78,351 user reviews being popular. And obviously this is also just for Steam purchasers and playtime over 10 hours. That's just to kind of give a uniform, I do this for all the games that I look at reviews on. So anyone that's played it over 10 hours, those are the reviews I count. Because you've been in it for 10 hours, you must know a fair amount about the game. And as you can see, there is a lot of positive reviews. A lot of the negatives are like, server issues, game still crashes, that kind of stuff, but, there's a lot of people that also are not finding those issues as big of a deal or finding those issues at all. So it seems like a lot of their server problems have been fixed. Seems like a lot of the capacity issues that they were running into early game are no longer an issue or being resolved as we speak. So things are getting better on that front. And obviously, people are just enjoying it so much that they're crashing servers. So that's a good problem to have for sure. Helldivers I would put as a I know they started as an indie studio, but I would say that this is very much a double A game, a double A studio. And obviously Arrowhead is developing, but they're publishing through PlayStation directly. And that obviously has certain advantages over publishing it yourself. Certainly gets your name out there, gets things rolling in that department, and that's why you see the kind of popularity you do. But yeah, like I said, it's very much in that double A territory, kind of more of a serious studio at this point. And obviously they started indie. So it's good to see an indie studio come into their own and become a double A industry or a double A studio like this. That's a good sign that the industry is working kind of more as it should. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that, AAA has just been twisted in the wind for so much and for so long that it's given room for some of these smaller studios to rise up and become the properties going forward in the future, and Helldivers 2 is one of those. I mean, we've seen this in the past. A lot of the old games that we loved were small studios that made a game that was a huge hit and became these massive studios, these massive developers. Like, id Software started as like five guys in a basement, and they were shareware. It was shareware games that they started they cut their teeth on. I mean, Wolfenstein was a shareware game, and then it blossomed into this huge industry with Doom and Quake and all of the expansive things that they've been up to for the last few years. So obviously, it has happened in the past. It will happen again, and I think we're seeing the signs of that now with companies like Arrowhead Game Studios. Becoming these major players or these semi-major players in the industry. So it's good to see. And just getting more into Helldivers. Let's continue on over to the player counts because that is where the real obvious numbers become more evident here. So you can see on release it was 64,000 concurrent players, probably mainly due to the server issues, and then it just keeps jumping up and it's hit this 458,000 user peak, 440,000 over this past weekend. And it's dropping back down now, but it's been hitting good numbers. And I think we're going to see some consistency over that. Probably that 400,000 plus peak will hit again, at least during the week and possibly this weekend. this coming weekend rather, and we'll see where that goes. I don't know where we're gonna see this end up. I mean, obviously these numbers do taper off over time, but being a multiplayer game, it should have more staying power than most games in this category, and it could very well continue on in that 400,000 peak user state. I would say probably in the next couple of weeks you're gonna see it even off to about 350. But yeah, this is a very good sign because it's very close to that actual peak that they hit, and it's maintaining that consistency. And we might see more steam as people start realizing that the server issues are getting better, and they're not going to have to worry about as many crashes and whatnot. As things get fixed, you're going to see those users come back as well. So it'll be interesting to see what this one does as well, but it seems like they are on a good trajectory. Obviously very popular and very well beloved franchise, new franchise to kind of attach your wagon to, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Helldivers ends up doing in the coming years, and obviously in the coming months with the player counts here. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So hope you enjoyed the vid. If you like these kind of videos, give it a like, and I will talk to you guys later.